All right, friends, welcome back. I just wanted to share a little bit of insights that I felt the Lord was leading me to over the weekend. The opening of the abyss, the fifth angel sounding the fifth trumpet. Revelation chapter 9, starting with verse 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. Now I'm going to stop right there for now. Later on, we can look at some other potential signs, but I'm going to share with you the signs out of this chapter that really worked for me in terms of finding the constellations and the other planetary bodies that we need. So we're going to jump over here to Stellarium. And I'm sorry if I'm talking loud. I was told I talked too softly. Let's open our settings and click on the elliptic line that just helps us know where the planets are going to be moving. It's around the calendar or the zodiac of the Milky Way. We're also going to minimize that. So we've got our elliptic line here on the edges. And jumping down, we're going to turn on our constellations, our constellation art, and you can see kind of where these constellations fall at certain times. In this case, it's saying that we're near Detroit. I don't know why it picked that up, but you can set that for your area. Coming back down, we're going to turn off the landscape for now, as well as any deep sky objects. They were likely maybe not visible to our ancestors at the time of the writing of this book. Let's go ahead and find the constellation of the abyss. And after doing some research, I learned that this was Eridanus. And I will link the video that helped me with a little bit of, or helped me a great deal with the Hebrew revelation signs, or the revelation signs for Hebrews. So if we click on Wikipedia down here, it'll take us to a page. I'm not going to do that right now. I will link that video below with the Hebrew revelation symbology. So Eridanus looks like this serpent right here. And Orion is going to step on his heel. Orion's not going to come into play at this particular time. We're having some movement with our planetary bodies. We do have, the new zodiac sign or constellation of Ophiuchus, which there's some debate whether that's the serpent god or a serpent god, or Christ the Redeemer doing battle with the serpent. So I'm going to delve into that a little bit more with my research. But we've got the constellation for the abyss, and next we're going to look at this constellation here. It is Fornax. And I'm going to do a search for it. And again, we're going to look for this triangle. That just means it's a constellation from our list. And we see it is Latin for furnace. The only other thing I'm going to do at this time is start from today and then click forward and see if anything happens. Any planetary objects or comets or asteroids come near our abyss, and especially our smaller Fornax constellation. Now, and you're going to see the moon. It's going to be going around that elliptical line. Some of the other planets will be going by. That just means that's our calendar. That's the zodiac calendar. When the sun goes into that sign, it just means that that's the month of that sign. So April, May, Aries, and Taurus, and the like. Continuing on, I didn't see a lot of movement at least at this point, we do have some planetary objects moving around, so we'll see if that changes over time. But really, nothing showed up until 2023, and I'm not going to complain about that. It should be coming up anytime. There it is. So K2, or excuse me, C 2017 K2 Pan Stars. And that's a pretty generic name. Let me go ahead and back it up to about the time it really does enter our Abyss constellation. So I'll go ahead and highlight that now. And we will track it. So it comes into view of our Abyss constellation towards the end of February 2023. And again, it could be another comet if something arrives and we just don't know about it, or Stellarium isn't anticipating it. But for now, we're going to work with this one, and it seems to line up really well. Now we're going past Fornax, and then we're going to go up to Orion. Now, Orion could definitely take care of this. We know that this is going to be a 5-month sign. We see that in verse 5. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented for 5 months. All right. And the torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. That could it be a clue as well? We do have a scorpion constellation with Scorpio, but he doesn't seem to be in this picture frame right now. Okay, so we're going to watch and see where this is a comet. It's not part of our asteroid belt. I'll try to show you a picture of how its elliptical line looks, or orbital line looks. So February, we're coming into August. Well, probably more like, so is the end of February. We'll say the end of July. It enters the constellation Monoceros. And I didn't know what that was until I started looking into these things. We're going to see if we can jump over to the Wikipedia page. And doing so, we're going to jump down to the history. Sometimes you'll see a mythology bullet or outline. We've got the unicorn. It's not a bright constellation, but it has been around for quite some time, and it's been studied in regards to a horse or a unicorn. And somewhere in here, it's going to talk about healing properties. Let me see if I can find that. Healing properties in its horns. All right, so maybe not on this page, but I did find that. And that makes a lot of sense if this constellation is going to be used after poisonous scorpions and locusts. Okay, I wanted to jump over here just to show you where I had found that reference in terms of healing poisons. It's called ascensionglossary.com. It looks just like Wikipedia, but I was able to get a little bit more information here. We're going to jump down here to this number 2 mythology bullet or title. It's the unicorn. It's a mythical beast depicted with the body of a horse and a spiral horn on its forehead. The unicorn's horn was said to have the property of being able to neutralize poisons. The picture of a unicorn was the apothecary's symbol. The powdered root of the unicorn horn was believed to be a panacea for just about all illnesses. All right, and I'll let you look at that if you want to delve further into some of the explanations. Okay, so that's what we're looking at in terms of dates at this point. Another comet could come through, and it could have, also some significance there. If you want to double check with Torah calendar, there was a little bit of significance in the dates. I'll let anybody who wants to look at that do that with their own time. Just wanted to keep this short. Let's head back over to Revelation 9. Some other things that could come into play. I'm basically looking for the nouns in these passages. So when I started looking up a timeline for the opening of the abyss, I was looking at the locusts. Well, that I know, we don't have a locust constellation. It says that in verse 8, they have the hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. Of course, we do have a couple of lion constellations. One is Leo, and then the other is the cub, the lion cub constellation. We also have a hare constellation, Kama Berenice, and I looked at that, but I didn't really find anything at this point. Again, things change. Take this to the Lord and prayer, but it does look like we've got a little bit of time until things get too crazy on that front. Going to look at the rising of the Antichrist next, and that's probably going to come, well, in a way, it's already started. So we'll look at that. God bless.